Hi all of you awesome scuba divers out there, welcome to Scuba Diving Magazine, your favourite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. Today I have a pair of SEAC Propulsion sling fins. So the sling in the name refers to the bungee heel strap on the back. There is a regular version of the Propulsion which just has a standard rubber ratchet strap. Nobody has time for them anymore these days. So this version comes with a bungee as standard. The Propulsion sling fins, they're a channel style fin with dual materials. The two materials allow the blades to bend and flex during the upwards and the downwards kick cycle to basically create a better scoop and to channel the water down towards the tip. And on the other end, they have that elastic sling strap with a nice big loop to grab hold of to quickly and easily get ready. And because it's bungee, it's always tightening on your heel to automatically adjust them when your boots start to compress and then decompress at depth and coming back up. They're a fairly long fin. They measure about 425 mil from the tip of the toe box to the very tip, and the entire fin measures about 700 mil, excluding the strap. That's for this size. This is the large, extra large size that I have right here. A single fin weighs in at about 1.2 kilos, which isn't too bad. The propulsions are slightly negative in fresh water. They didn't plummet to the bottom for me. They just very gently sank a little bit heel first. 5 colours, white, blue, this one yellow, a grey and kind of a teal colour to match your style, but let's take a look at how they arrive and if anything comes with them. This is how they arrive, in a big plastic bag with a little grab handle on the top. On the inside you get your fins. And they do have these little inserts. They used to be made out of plastic to like hold the shape of the fins. Now they're made out of cardboard because a lot of people just throw them away. Hopefully they recycled them as well. It's got a little QR barcode. I'm not entirely sure what that leads to. I imagine it's the SEAC sub website, but I'll scan it and I'll put the URL down here and down in the description below. That seems to be everything that comes with the fins. Let's take a closer look at them. So taking a closer look at the fin itself, starting off with the heel strap, we've got this nice big chunky semi-flexible, it's got some bend and flex because it's got to go around your like Achilles tendon. Just a big thumb loop to grab hold of. You've got a few little access parts, so if you're hanging them up and depending on which way the hook is hanging or whether you're using bolt snaps or whatever, you've got a couple of ways to hook that on, which is quite nice. And big loop so you can grab hold of that even with gloved hands, just pull it over your heel, or at the end of the dive you can just knock it off. Bungee, so this comes from their spearfishing range. In Italy they're spearfishing, so they know what they're doing when it comes to bungees. And nice and chunky, it's got a bit of flex so you can pull it over, but then that flex just holds onto your foot so the fin stays in position. Even if your dry suit or your wetsuit boot is compressing at depth, you don't have to readjust them. It's elastic, so it automatically adjusts. Quick and easy to pull those off. It's got the standard snowman on it. It doesn't have any of those little notches that really tick me off. And the post itself doesn't have any notches. Some fin straps, they kind of lock it so that you can't lift it over a certain point or down below a certain point, but after a while this is relatively soft plastic in this area and it just breaks the fin, so it's quite nice not to see those posts. The foot pocket itself, soft, and it tapers down to a point right at the tip, so that's going to help with discomfort overall when your foot's in place and you're really kind of levering on that ankle. You don't want it too hard right around the tip because you can just feel that on this section of your foot and it can get a little bit uncomfortable. On the underside, decent amount of grip. So if you are wading whilst you're wearing the fins, you do get a bit of grip. If you're on the deck of a boat or something, it's rubberized and it's texturized. So on the sand, you get a little bit of grip. And they're relatively flat. They do flatten out quite nicely, but you still get that that attack angle. If fins are completely flat, they're not that effective. You need a bit of an angle from the foot pocket down the blade, and the way they've done that is that basically the blade sits at the top of the foot pocket instead of just at the bottom, so you still get that kind of angle of attack. Decent rails down the side, so these both help to transfer energy from your foot, from your foot and your legs down towards the tip of the blade, so the blade doesn't get too floppy. It also helps to kind of create a barrier, so the water as you're finning doesn't slip over the sides. It kind of traps it and channels it down towards the tip. And yeah, dual material, so the yellow in this case is a bit more reinforced, so it's a bit harder. The black is a bit softer, so these can change the shape of the blade to create more of a scoop effect, and then the alternate during the upwards kick, so you get the best of both worlds. These little fins, these help to reduce tracking. Tracking is, if you imagine kind of moving your hand or your fin through the water, it naturally wants to kind of shudder from side to side. These help to reduce that. And on the underside, you can see a bit more reinforcements just on these yellow sections here. Again, just to give it a bit more like reinforcement so it doesn't just fold in the water. Decent amount of flex in these. They're kind of a medium all-rounder kind of stiffness, and yeah, they'll be nice and comfortable to wear all day. Otherwise, yeah, nice, good-looking pair of fins, decent finish to them. There's a little bit of flashing just around the edge, but otherwise, yeah, can't really fault them. So overall, who are the propulsion sling for? Any diver, really. They're a classic channel design that suit most diving styles, and they're pretty bulletproof. The EVA material that they've made from is like, it's UV resistant and all that kind of stuff, so even if you do leave them out in the sun, it's not the end of the world. The medium stiffness means that you can wear them all day without your legs getting tired. The only place that they might get a little bit cumbersome is if you find yourself in cramped places all the time. If you're delving into wrecks or like just overhead cave environments, then you might be tapping the sides a little bit with your fin tips, or if you're limited for space in your small travel bag, if you're trying to go like just with a single carry-on bag, that's going to take up most of your carry-on. It might even be a little bit long for carry-on, but I do like the heel strap. The bungee heel strap's nice. The big hoop on the back makes it really easy to grab and maneuver, even with gloves. I know some divers won't like it because it's just begging for something to snag on it. Hashtag flappy snag hazards. But it's not really that huge, and it's right on your heel, but it does give you a handy place to hook them up. You can adjust the length of the bungee and replace the bungee if it ever does wear out. It won't be as simple as just kind of moving a bolt, but it can be done. You have to take these buckles off, kind of separate the two halves, take a little thing out, so you have to undo a zip tie and then replace them, but it can be done. They're also attached onto the pin so that they can just move in any direction. They're free to rotate, which I prefer. Too many designs try to limit which angle they like rotate at, and they just end up damaging that pin. So it's quite nice to be able to see that you can fold it completely forwards or completely underneath the blade. But these are, yeah, really nice pair of fins. The buoyancy is nice. You can tell that SEAC tried to make these as neutrally buoyant in salt water as possible. They're ever so slightly negative in fresh water, so even if you do drop them, you've got quite a while to be able to grab them. Just remember, in salt water, they'll be a bit more buoyant. The propulsion sling, or you might find them under propulsion S, depending on the website, they sometimes call it something different, but propulsion S, propulsion sling, have a recommended retail price of £82 British, which is a steal. Usually for a pair of channel fins with bungee heels and not that standard ratchet strap, you're looking at 3 figures, usually like early 3 figures, but still 3 figures nonetheless, and they're just yeah, I like them. They're a no-nonsense pair of fins that should last a long time and get you where you need to go. For more information, you can check them out and find your local SEAC dealer by visiting seacsub.com. Link will be down in the description, and I'll see if I can remember to pop it up here in the corner. And you can also check out our website, scubadivingmag.com, and think about a magazine subscription. We offer both physical and digital copies of our magazine all over the world. And of course, if you're new to the channel, then remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.